Hey guys, I'm going to explain more on the Get Fit flight. If you've ever watched Wild Blue Yonder on YouTube, he's very informational about everything about BMT, everything you need to know about the Air Force, and I watched a lot of his videos right before I left for basic, and I think that really helped me because it kind of set me in a mindset of I know now a little bit more like than just coming in not knowing anything. I think I set myself up for a little bit more information than I think most people did. So with Get Fit, it's basically they want to train you as hard as they can in just PT as fast as they can, but as safely as they can. So Monday through Saturday, you work out twice a day in the morning. Get Fit also is the last one to say always eat in the morning when you're at medhold because we have to like do our cardio and do running in the morning, and we have different stuff we do in the morning. So like we'll go out on the track. It's not really a track. It's kind of a rundown track you could say. But we we do that in the mornings, and then in the afternoons we go do our muscle core exercise in the gym, which is on the third floor, of course. Uh, so this is how my Get Fit experience went. I actually went with another girl from my original flight. I say original because I was in three different flights technically. I was in my original flight, which was flight 298. Then the flight I was in medhold in my Get Fit flight, which was Landry flight. And then the flight I was put into at the very end, which was flight 314, which was a week behind me. So I actually didn't stay at medhold as long as some other girls do or other guys do. We do wear an armband on our right arm. It's the green armband because if you wear an armband, that means you're still a trainee and you're not an airman yet. If you wear a belt, that means you're an airman, but you're a holdover airman technically because you're in med hold for some odd reason. Either your orders didn't come in, or you're there for medical reasons, or you're under investigation. Like we have different colors to like represent different styles, different like statuses, I guess you could say. Cause, but I mean, belts always are airmen. Armbands were always trainees because trainees still had to wear web belts and airmen do not. Um, I left the Saturday of my 6 week, so when you leave for medhold, your weeks freeze. I was stuck in my 6 week for about a week and a half to 2 weeks in stuck in my 6 week. So I left the Saturday. So I did the 5K of my 6 week on Saturday. Went back upstairs with some of the girls because I didn't want to donate blood. I'm too small too. Took a shower. Then we sat in the day room for like 2 hours doing absolutely nothing while a bunch of like MTIs in training because the 323rd Squadron is a training squadron for trainees and for MTIs, of course. So we have like double the MTIs, so it's like terrifying. There was like 20 of them just like in one bay, like just chilling and like seeing like what they should do when they're doing wall locker inspections and what they should be looking for. So I was chilling in there, and I already knew I didn't pass. I knew I was already going to Get Fit, but I didn't expect I was going that day. I thought I was gonna, because they said that Tuesday of the week of my graduation, I got one more try. And so I assumed if I didn't make it on Tuesday, then I was gonna leave. I didn't know I was leaving that day, but one of our MTIs was down at CQ and called over on the box. I was like, send trainee so and so and so and so down to CQ, and we went down there, and he's like, hey, you're leaving for Get Fit, like right now, go pack your stuff up. And I went upstairs, and two of my best friends from my flight was upstairs. They didn't do the 5K and they didn't want to donate blood, but they were upstairs, and I was very, very angry and I had a lot of emotion. So like I took my duffel bag and I threw it on my bed because I was so upset because I was leaving. We were all crying, and half my flight wasn't even there because they were all donating blood. Saturday, it was just in processing to med hold. I did a lot of phone calls saying, hey, mom, I didn't pass, but keep coming because I had the mindset of like, I'm going to pass this Tuesday. Like, it's going to be fine and everything. Um, Saturdays, no, Sundays and Mondays in no, it's Saturdays and Sundays. In medhold, you watch movies. It's pretty decent, I guess. Sundays we just watch movie day. We relax. Mondays we relax because Get Fit works out so hard. Sunday and Mondays we have to relax. You don't have to relax. You can do one by threes, but we're not allowed to go to open gym. We can't donate blood. There's a lot of stuff that Get Fit is not allowed to do just because they make us work out so hard. Um, Tuesday I did not pass. I because you do push-ups first, then you do the sit-ups, and then you do the run. I didn't pass the push-ups, so I already knew I wasn't gonna pass anyways. But I mean, I didn't really do well on my sit-ups either. Then did that on Tuesday morning. Then I worked out later that day because you work out twice a day. Wednesday, normal stuff. The muscle exercise for Wednesday for me was I learned what PT poker was. It's called the deck of pain, which is what we also call it. It's a very hard process to explain. If you want me to, I can make another video explaining this different kind of exercises we did, but I'm just gonna say what they were. Wednesday, I left a lot of clothes at my original flight, and we had to get them all back because I needed my track suit for PT for Get Fit because Get Fit literally only wears PT gear. Like that's pretty sure that's like the only clothes I had. I only wore. I saw my original flight, and they knew me and the other girl wasn't coming back because I told them all, and then I got to see my girls and I wrote a letter for all of them, and I was just telling them, hey, congratulations, I'm so proud of all of you, no matter what happened. Every Tuesday, however, if you're in medhold, only if you're in Get Fit, you do make a phone call, but you have to make it on the payphone. Just saying like, hey, mom or dad or whoever your loved ones, just telling them like, hey, I passed or hey, I didn't pass, and it's just gonna be another week for me here. You do test every week, so as soon as you test and you pass everything, you get to graduate. You'll get to RTT all day, which means return to training. It's more in processing, getting back into whatever squadron you would like to go to. I personally picked the 323rd because I knew there was a graduating class that week, and I really enjoyed being in that squadron. And I got to see my old MTIs and let the 2 out of 3 of them know, saying, "Sir, trainee so and so reports as ordered. I got to RTT back, and now I'm graduating this week." And it was only a week later, so it honestly wasn't even that bad. Thursday, you have a nutrition briefing at 8 in the morning, and then you have a really hard workout at 11 o'clock with Mr. White. He's a really cool guy, but he's the kind of guy that's like, let's do 100 crunches and everyone will be okay in the end. And like we did, like it was insane. It was crazy. But my family came down that weekend, the weekend I was supposed to graduate, so I got base lib with them, but I could only stay on base. I couldn't go outside, which was really sad. Friday, normal stuff, got base lib again. And then Saturday, did the prison workout, and then I got a super, super long base lib with my family, which I really loved. Sunday, I got base lib again. I came back to medhold dorms early because my parents left and my sister was already gone at that time. Monday, usually the only time I like ever do details is when they say, I need 2 able bodies to come down to CQ or come down to the tick. And able bodies are like if you're not on crutches or you're not on a waiver, which means you can help bring someone new up to the dorms, because we don't go by roster numbers because we change constantly, so we go by bed numbers strictly only. Mondays, I did some details. I shredded paper. I threw away books in a dumpster. That was my Monday. Tuesday, passed my PT test with 20 push-ups, 38 sit-ups, and a 14:36 run time. I got to RTT. I got to see 2 of 3 of my MTIs. Went back to the 323rd Squadron, went in flight 3 and 4, and then basically graduated that weekend. Since my parents came down the weekend I was supposed to graduate, they unfortunately did not come actual graduation, so I was actually left alone. So I kind of had to hop around with different people, different families, whoever took me in, honestly. And then, I mean, yeah, that's my get fit kind of real quick rundown experience. I know it doesn't really explain exactly what get fit is, but I mean, if you to explain get fit is usually you come either on the Monday of your 7th week or the Saturday of your 6th week, which I came on the Saturday of my 6th week. You get technically about 7 tries, 7 or 8, somewhere between 6 to 8 no, 7 tries. You get 7 tries in all. You get your very initial one, which does not count against you. It's the only try that you can get back to graduate on time, to get back with your original flight, which stresses a lot of people out. That's why most people don't pass it, and that's personally why I didn't pass it, because I think I was stressing out too much, and I was just really upset with everything, and I was like super depressed that like I wasn't with my flight anymore, and I knew like in my heart like I felt like I wasn't gonna pass. But then you have that you test every Tuesday. You get an initial 30 days, so that means you get a whole month, and you get one try every Tuesday, so you get 4 tries there. If you don't get that, then you have up to 2 extensions, which is extension is just 1 week. So like as I said, you test every Tuesday. If you don't pass your initial, which I didn't, and then you don't pass your 4 that you're given, the initial 30 days you're given, and you don't pass any of that, then you can apply it to extension. It has to go through uh the director of operations, or it has to go through the captain. I know who he is. I just can't think of what his position is at the moment for some odd reason. I think it's the flight commander. It has to go through him, and then he has to approve it, and then you get another week. And if you don't pass that time, then you can apply up to your second extension. If you don't pass that, then you are separated. You do have to go home. You don't get a choice. You have to go home. I don't know how long it takes for you to go home. I think it's pretty quickly, because I do know a girl was denied her first extension, and she's now home. I think they sent her home, I think, just the next day, because they don't want to keep you there longer than you honestly have to. You there are 3 different ways you can technically separate when you're in the get fit status. If you can separate after your initial try, and then your 4 tries, you can separate then, and you can come back in 6 months. You just if you don't want the extensions, you can come back, which is what I thought I was gonna do, but I passed a week later, so it was like nothing to me. So I got out pretty early, actually, compared to some other people who are probably still there that I do know who they are. Um, or like after every extension, you don't have to take the second extension. You don't have to take the first extension. You can separate at any of those times, which means you just come back again at after 6 months. And then the last way you separate, which was what a girl did who came the same day as me. I do not prefer her, you could say, because she did one workout, and then she decided to separate, which means it's called a refusal of training. And if you're in medhold status and you say you want to go home, that's also called a refusal of training. Even though if you're in medhold status and you're there for like weeks on end, it's not your fault. It's still a refusal of training, and that means you will be separate. You can separate, and you'll get an orange armband, which means that's what the separation means. The only thing is you can't come back to the military ever. You will never be able to come back, not even the Air Force, but all military branches, because it is a refusal of training. And that's really it. And that's the only ways you can separate. Unless like it's a medical thing and they found out you have like bipolar or something, which happened to one of our girls. They found out she ended up having bipolar and everything like that. And then you get medically discharged. That's not your fault, obviously, but if you get medically discharged, most likely you aren't allowed to come back, just because you have kind of a mental disorder. But if it's like physical medical discharge, like if you had stress fractures, you can come back. as soon as you get all healed up, as soon as you're all fine. The only problem is you have to go through all of BMT again if you ever want to come back, which I think would be awful just because of the gas chamber. Nothing else. And that's my get fit experience in however minutes this video is.